is Mary, a third grader who loves reading. She loves what, fiction or nonfiction the most?
Nonfiction.
Nonfiction. I'm glad you like nonfiction the most. Today we're going to continue to work on our essential question of why migration is an important adaptation for animals. Tell me again, let's get our brains going a little bit. Tell me what you know about migration.
Migration. Animals migrate for 3 reasons: to get food, to be warm, or to have offspring.
I love that, and I love how you were remembering what we did last time, right, on what we learned and what you wanted to learn. Today, what we learn about migration, we're going to make some inferences. Have you heard the word inferences before?
Yes.
What do you know about making inferences?
Inferences, inferences is when you take pieces of what you read and put them together and think.
Okay.
And make an inference to what you're reading.
Very good. Sometimes when authors write in a text, they give us clues about what they want us to understand. So today what we're going to do is make inferences and find those clues to make more meaning of the text. So when we infer, when we use academic vocabulary, we're going to say, I think, or maybe, or I infer, I predict, my guess is, perhaps, this could mean, or it could be that. Okay? So we're going to kind of work together through some, and then we're going to look at an article together and make inferences there together too. Okay? So we're going to start with a video, and it is about monarch butterflies migrating. And I know you have a lot of background knowledge about butterflies migrating, don't you?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to watch it together. I'm going to pause it a couple times. Okay?
The story begins on March 21st, the spring equinox. On this day, everywhere on the earth gets exactly 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of darkness. For the northern hemisphere, this is the first day of spring. In the Sierra Madre Mountains of Mexico, the coming of spring means it's time for millions of monarch butterflies to prepare for the long journey north. They came to just a few isolated groves from as far away as Canada to escape the bitter northern winter. Why these particular groves, no one knows. As the day warms up, the butterflies begin to stir. The sun's heat reaches those on the outside of the roost first, so they're soon warm enough to fly. But those on the inside are still cold after the Sierra Madre night, and they fall from the trees like autumn leaves.
Okay, so I'm already starting to think about our question about why migration is important. And I'm trying to make an inference. I'm trying to find out or think about why these monarch butterflies are going south for the winter. So I'm thinking about what I just saw in the video about how they needed to be warm. So I'm making an inference. I infer that the climate that the butterflies live in has to be warm. I know that because in the video it said they were coming south to be protected from that harsh winter in Canada. Do you see how I used what the video showed me to make more meaning?
Yes.
Good. Let's keep watching. See if it keeps going. There you go.
Let's spread out.
No.
Out on the forest floor, all the butterflies soon warm up and take to the air. They feed on nectar, building up strength for the journey ahead. And they gather on puddles and morning dew to drink.
Okay, Michaela, I want you to make an inference. These butterflies were in clumps, and they came down from the trees down to the ground. What inference can you make? Why do you think they are landing in the water?
I think that they are landing in the water because maybe there are some flowers around the water and they need nectar so they won't be hungry.
Good. Did you see anything in this video though about them going to flowers?
Yes.
You did? Okay. And when it backed up a little bit, so they went to flowers?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you think those butterflies, what inference can you make? They've been hanging in the tree, right? Why do you think they flew straight down to flowers for nectar or the water puddles? What inference can you make?
I think
Good.
that they did that because they probably been in that tree so long they didn't eat yet in a long time, so they go to get food.
Right, and I'm going to use a thinking sentence to add to your thinking. This could mean that the butterflies need water for their migration path back to Canada, right? Great. So did you see how we made inferences using what we listened to?
Yes.
Now we're going to make some inferences in an article, okay? Move this for you. I want you to take a minute and just look at this article. I'm going to put your thinking sentences here. It's 2 pages. You can go left to right if you want. Take a look at the text features that you see.
I see a photo.
Mm-hmm.
I see subheading
Yeah.
and a map
Right.
and both words
Mm-hmm.
and a heading
Mm-hmm.
and
Any more?
caption.
Good. I like the way you found those captions. They're also giving credit to the person who took the pictures, okay? I want you to read through this, and I'm going to stop you every once in a while because we're going to work together to make some inferences, okay? All right.
The orange and black butterflies are on the move. It's time for the monarch butterflies to take a trip. Each fall they migrate south for the winter. The word migrate means to move from one place to another. Many monarchs leave Canada and the United States to travel to Mexico. Others go to California, Texas, or Florida. In the winter, monarchs stay close together on trees. That helps protect them from wind, rain, and cold. The trees look bright orange because they are covered with millions of butterflies.
Good. Stop right there. Let's make an inference. What do you infer would happen if the butterflies didn't stay close together on trees?
I infer that if they didn't stay close together on trees, if there's butterflies that just got their wings, they probably don't know how to work them yet, and they could probably get lost. And if they don't stay under trees, their wings will get wet and they can't fly.
Okay.
And the wind may be too strong, and they can't fly in that strong wind.
Okay. So tell me what evidence you used to support that thinking.
I used, in the winter, monarchs stay close together on trees. That helps protect them from wind, rain, and cold.
Good. So this sentence told us that monarch butterflies stay in clumps for protection from these elements of weather, right?
Right.
So when you're making an inference, you have to predict what's going to happen to the monarch butterflies if they don't stay in clumps, okay? So your evidence is correct. I think this could mean that monarch butterflies may not survive if they don't stay in clumps, right? And I know that because in the text it says that they're protected, and the trees look bright orange. So I know they're in clumps for a reason, right? Okay, keep going.
Round trip flight. In the spring, monarchs migrate north. On the way, female monarchs stop to lay eggs. A baby caterpillar hatches from an egg. Many of the new monarch butterflies finish the trip north. I got a question.
Okay.
If some of the females lay their eggs,
Mm-hmm.
do they leave the caterpillars?
They do. They do. So what that makes me think about is, how do those caterpillars who turn into butterflies know what to do?
Exactly.
Okay, so let's think about that for a second. Let's look back at our essential question. Why is migration an important adaptation for animals? The butterflies are born with that adaptation, so they instinctively know that they have to migrate and fly north. So why is that so important? What would happen if the butterflies didn't have that adaptation?
They would not be able to survive.
Right. And that would be pretty sad, right? We'd have no butterflies, they'd be extinct. Good thinking. Great question to add to your thinking. Where are we? We're on,
This one.
okay, subheading, what's that one say?
Students help monarchs.
Okay.
Second graders at Arlington
Mhm.
Elementary School in India are ready for a monarch visit. That school has a garden full of milkweed plants. Monarchs can rest, eat, and lay eggs there.
Good.
That sounds better, so they don't have to leave them.
Mm-hmm. So wait a minute. If milkweed plants are where monarchs rest, eat, and lay eggs, what do you infer will happen if we don't have a lot of milkweed around?
They will not be.
Use a thinking sentence.
I think that they will not be able to survive.
Right. So if an area has a lot of milkweed plants, I infer there's going to be a lot of monarch butterflies. What do you infer about an area of land that doesn't have a lot of milkweed plants?
I think that
Okay.
there will only be a little bit, like 5 or
Yeah.
6, because there's not a lot of them to eat on.
Mhm.
I mean, like some. It depends on the size, because some butterflies can eat on, like 2 to 3 butterflies can
Mhm.
eat on one specific plant.
Right, right. That makes sense too. Right, keep reading.
The red lines on the map below show places where monarch butterflies migrate for the winter.
Oh. What do you notice about that map?
That they all start somewhere from Canada.
Mm-hmm. And they all end up where?
In Mexico.
In the same spot.
Well, these two
Mm-hmm.
go differently.
Mm-hmm.
But if that line is connected to this line,
Mm-hmm. So what do you
is
infer?
that one butterfly coming out?
Well, what do you infer? If they're starting here and you see that there are 2 different spots where their migration pattern ends, what do you infer? What could this mean?
Maybe it could be that one, or maybe they have offspring.
Maybe their offspring. So this could mean their offspring go to a different location. I know this because when I look at the map, I see one starting migration pattern splits into 2 paths.
Yes.
Great thinking.
Milkweed is the only type of plant where female monarchs lay their eggs. If the milkweed disappears, so do the monarchs, says teacher Eddie McDonald.
Oh my gosh. So this is perfect sentence to provide text evidence for our inference about milkweed plants.
Yes.
So I infer that if there isn't a milkweed plant, there won't be any monarch butterflies. And I know this because in the text, a teacher is quoted by saying, if the milkweed disappears, so do the monarchs. You see how I did that? I'm connecting what I'm thinking about what I'm reading and using the text to add to it, to support it. All right, last paragraph.
The garden also has plants with nectar for the monarchs to eat. Nectar is a sweet liquid. Monarchs have to stop and eat along the way, McDonald says.
Very good.
So, so would it be sweet like honey?
Yes,
Okay.
it would be. Now, it wouldn't taste sweet like honey for you and me,
I know.
but it would taste different for other people. Right, that was great reading. I'm gonna give you a question like I did last time on a piece of paper, and I want you to write your response. I want you to use what you read to support your thinking to make your inference, okay? So I'm gonna write your question for you. What do you infer would happen if monarch butterflies didn't stop to eat nectar when they migrate? Support your answer using evidence from the text.